Coming up next on Trojan News, junior and senior high students hit the stage.
And the town of Greenville is the setting of the upcoming feature film. These stories and more in this week's Halloween edition of Trojan News.
And now, from Studio 100 at Greenville High School, this is Trojan News.
Hello and welcome to Trojan News for Friday, October 28th. I'm Gianna.
And I'm McKenna.
What do the Wall House, Cianci's Motel, the Gibson House, and the Atlantic all have in common? They were all used as locations in a soon-to-be-completed feature film titled Spooked. Kelsey Russell has more.
Last fall, Tony Reams, 1992 Greenville School graduate and brother of GHS math teacher Mr. Zavi, returned to his hometown to shoot a feature-length film titled Spooked. The film follows the story of a little girl who disappears in Greenville and everybody thinks that she is a ghost. Several GHS graduates who are studying film production at Teal College served as crew members, and several current GHS students can be seen as extras in the movie. The film is nearing completion, but needs just a bit more funding to reach the finish line. You can contribute to the production and receive great rewards and behind-the-scenes access. Visit spookfilm.com for more information. For Trojan News, I'm Kelsey Russell.
Adding to the excitement of this Greenville-based film, the Spooked production team recently added a Hollywood veteran to the cast list, Eric Roberts, who was nominated for an Academy Award for his work in his 1985's Runaway Train and has appeared in dozens of films, including The Dark Knight, has joined the Spooked cast. Again, be sure to check out thespookedfilm.com to find out how you can contribute to the completion of the production.
With Halloween just around the corner, there isn't a better time to watch a scary movie than this weekend. Since Spooked has been released today, you will have to select a different title. We asked GHS students what their favorite scary movies are. Here are their answers.
Halloween 2, because Tiggs is Halloween 1.
Halloween Ends, because Michael Myers dies, and it was pretty funny.
Probably Halloween. Michael Myers, scary.
My favorite Halloween movie is The Nun, because it's funny.
My favorite Halloween movie is probably Hocus Pocus, because like my family's watched it so many years in a row.
My favorite Halloween movie is Hocus Pocus because it reminds me of when I was little.
My favorite Halloween movie is Halloween just because it's scary and there's so many different movies of that series that you can watch.
My favorite Halloween movie is Spookily the Square Pumpkin because it's pretty spooky.
Favorite Halloween movie is Nightmare Before Christmas because Jack making all his devious licks.
Last week, seniors spent more time in the boardroom than the classroom. Seniors competed in a week-long Business Week event in which students formed companies that competed in various business-related competitions and events, which culminated with a trade show on Friday in which students showed off their company's products. Trojan News will feature an in-depth coverage of the event in a future episode.
Students in Mrs. Wilson's Creative Foods class hosted a Halloween party for Mrs. McKinney's Gateway students. The Creative Foods students created and facilitated Halloween-themed games and activities, including a Bobbing for Donuts game. The party ended with a slice of zombie pizza and a cup of Goosebump punch.
And the GHS auditorium has been a busy place over the last few weeks, and it doesn't seem that it will slow down anytime soon. Student actors will be performing on stage throughout the first weeks of November. Melody Robinson has more.
Here at Greenville High School, we put on a multitude of shows. The next upcoming productions will be the Brothers Grimm Spectaculathon put on by the junior high and 3 separate one-acts shown by the senior high.
Where is Catherine Kingsman? Me to speak. Where is...
Then can you say that I am mad?
Both groups have been working hard to put on the best show they can for the audience and can't wait to get to perform it for everyone.
Happily ever after. Except for the people who are...
How about I push you in an oven?
Go.
They all have fun and chaos while still working very hard to memorize lines and blocking.
This is not destroyed, not dealt.
Up high. 5, 10, 15, 20. I curse you. Bigger. I curse you. Okay. I curse you. Yes.
Though everyone could use a dance break every so often.
No, you don't understand.
I think we'll do, hold on, you guys are all speaking parts, right? Yeah. I want to do it again, and
Miss Yarmouth gave us insight on what she likes most about theater and why she directs it.
So I love to direct. I love to be involved in theater because it's just a good opportunity for the students to build a community. And when they're in that kind of community, they're with people who are very like-minded and they share the same interests. And that same interest being theater is such a good community building thing to be a part of because It's based on trust with your, scene partners, and that just builds and builds and builds over time, over the rehearsal process, and especially with the performance too, because you're really relying on others, and it just builds such a strong bond between the students because they have to trust each other and they have to rely on each other. And so it's just a really cool way to build community. And I love to be able to give the students those opportunities, especially here because we're pretty close to the bigger cities, but we're still, a pretty far drive from them. And so for them to experience theater here right in Greenville, it's super, super special. So I love giving them that opportunity.
Make sure to mark your calendars for the 4th and 5th for the senior high 1 acts and the 11th and 12th for the junior high play. Hope to see you there. I'm Melody Robinson reporting for Trojan News.
Get to know more about Greenville's family and consumer science teacher, Mrs. Wilson. Josie Hart finds out about her high school years in Reynolds as well as her favorite TV show in this week's Teacher Spotlight.
Hi, I'm Josie Hart, and this week's Spotlight is Miss Wilson. So we'd like to get to know you a little bit more. And where'd you go to high school and college?
Well, don't hold it against me, but I went to Reynolds for high school, and then I did my graduate and undergraduate work at Slippery Rock University.
What kind of hobbies or sports did you do while you were there?
In high school, I ran cross country and track, mainly because I'm not very coordinated, as Taylor likes to remind me all the time. Hobbies today, we love to go camping as a family, and then just usually running after the kids at their different sports.
That sounds like fun. Who all is in your family?
Well, of course, Taylor, who's a junior here at Greenville. My son, Dylan, actually goes to Sharpsville because we live in Sharpsville, and he's in 3rd grade. And my husband, Mike.
What's your favorite TV show?
I watch a ton of Grey's Anatomy, and then Ted Lasso. I love Ted Lasso.
Those are some good ones. Any favorite music genres, artists?
I love a little bit of everything. I just flip through the channels and listen to a little, old rock, pop, even a little country, and even a little rap every once in a while.
That sounds good. All right, that's Miss Wilson. Back to the...
Taylor Swift drops a surprising album and the UK Prime Minister resigns. Michelle Bradshaw has more in these stories in this week's World Watch.
UK Prime Minister Liz Truss resigned Thursday after less than 2 months in office amid pressure following the reversal of economic policies that led to economic instability. Senator Mark Warner and Rep. Raja Kishamorthy sound the alarm on TikTok data collection and algorithm. Democrat lawmakers discussed the dangers posted by TikTok and whether the Chinese government can manipulate the algorithm. Taylor Swift releases album Midnights, a look at her breakups, feuds, and more that have inspired past hits. From a feud with Scooter Braun over her older albums and master recordings to disagreements with other artists, Swift has had her fair share of face-offs and makeups that have led to fodder for some of her biggest hits. Elon Musk wants free speech to run on the internet. Big tech companies want to censor conservative content while receiving the same protections as publishers, according to Texas Attorney General. New UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak acknowledges some mistakes were made under Liz Truss. In his first address to the nation as UK Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak says top priority is tackling economic crisis.
Sharon proved to be too much for the Trojans last Friday night.
And a GHS cross-country runner places at the Mercer County Invitational.
Prior to the final game of the season at Snyder Stone Stadium, Greenville celebrated its seniors from the football team, band, and cheerleaders. The game, however, didn't have much to celebrate. The high-powered offense of the Sharon Tigers defeated the Trojans 47-6. Greenville's only score came late in the first quarter. The Trojans failed to convert into the red zone, forcing them to punt. Trojan lineman Joey Peterson got downfield in a hurry and recovered a botched punt return. On the ensuing drive, Aiden Sazala powered his way into the end zone Friday night. The Trojans will play their final game on the road against Harbor Creek. The cross-country team competed in Mercer County Invitational at Palmetooning State Park on Saturday, October 22nd. The Trojans were able to field a complete team of runners, but that didn't stop senior Megan Ickes from placing fourth at a race with a time of 21 minutes and 31 seconds. The cross-country team will run District 10 meet this weekend in Titusville. That's the latest from the Sports Center. Let's send it back to Gianna and McKenna in the studio.
That's all for this week's episode of Trojan News.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for the latest in the school news and local weather, as well as short creative films. For Trojan News, I'm Gianna.
And I'm McKenna. Have a very spooky day.